Good afternoon, good morning, and almost good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Jason's Take On podcast. You've got myself, Jason Noble, here over in London, almost ready for the weekend, and my partner in crime, Mr. Whitehead. Say hello, Jason.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today.
We are very excited today to record another episode of our podcast series. We've got another guest episode today, and we're great to welcome Mara Vicente joining us from Pipedrive. Welcome, Mara.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Have a great conversation with Mara today around building long-term partnerships and relations with customers through customer support. Mara's background is as the VP of Customer Support with Pipedrive. She's now serving as the interim head of customer success. So there's a real, I think, a real superb story that Mara can have with that kind of varied background there. I'll let Mara do an introduction, but she's got, I think, 20 plus years experience in customer service. She's worked in team leadership across multiple roles there. So knows a lot about the operational side of the business, the support side of the business, and the success side of the business. But welcome, Mara. Please give a quick intro for our listeners.
All right, here I'm 43, based in Lisbon, currently working as VP Customer Solutions at Pipedrive. I have an amazing team of almost 200 people, customer support and customer success right now, and we're here 24/7 for our customers. True, it's been, wow, almost 20 years experience, or more than 20 years experience.
Scary, isn't it, when you think no, I'm not that. How does that work? I only
just I feel old. That's it. Other than that, I'm still learning, which is great. But yeah, I started out picking up phone as a normal customer service rep for a telecommunications company. I worked for a couple of telco companies, national and international, for more than 10 years. And then I ventured off to the startup world, actually worked in a couple of startups, Portuguese and international, on short-term rental. And that was like running the amazing experience of vacation for people and renting your perfect house, which can be also very painful. So it was fun and scary at the same time. And then I got the great opportunity to work for Pipedrive, a sales CRM built by salespeople for salespeople. And it's been an adventure ever since.
I love you. You've got such an incredible background. I think that working across different disciplines, different industries, different areas of the business, it's a great place to come in to customer success. And Jason and I, we've talked about this before. I think that breadth of experience is what really differentiates really exceptional leaders in customer success. How have you found this transition from being focused more on support into this interim customer solutions, customer success role at Pipedrive, and what are some of the plans that you've got?
So it's been quite a ride and very interesting. I can tell you that safely. Sometimes joking around with the team, I like to say that customer success is pretty much support on steroids with a bit of sales sassiness to it. That's not an easy mix to get. That's not an easy mix to get. Truth be said, it's aggregating the product knowledge that's required from the support's stand side, that diligence and the commitment to serve a customer and be there for them and take all the roadblocks out of the way, but still understand, all right, so what's in it for the company also? How can I get this customer to grow and bring more revenue into the company too? So it's that mix, right? Thinking about the customer and also company interest. And it's been fun because it's a learning experience that I can also take back to support staff and actually challenge the way that we do stuff and understand how we can also add value with that level of commitment and commercial trade or skill set that success also has.
I think you're so right. That kind of experience for doing both kind of the reactive stuff, that looking after our customers, driving success, but you need that commercial understanding, which is where kind of the sales skills come in. That's something that we've spoken about many times.
Yeah, that's the magic bit.
Yeah,
I like to call it the magic that they do.
I love what you started saying as well, too, about taking things back to the support team. Can you give us a couple of examples of what were some of the lessons that you've learned, or, hey, this is a really important skill or practice for the support team to have that they don't today?
Yeah, there are small things that we take on. So small things that we can also do in support that helps then the handover to success. Understand, like bridging the two departments and the customer experience when customers reach customer support, not working so much in silos, and understanding how we can improve the experience for customers every time they use support as the touch point, but have a customer success manager also, and also helping with upsell activities and cross-sell activities, more from a transactional standpoint, but also leveraging the opportunity that we have because we have the customer there, engaged, interesting, and the opportunity presents itself. But also more at how we can pave the way for customers when they actually interact with support. We get the information needed for then customer success to go after that customer, reach out with already the backgrounds, the information that they need, and the action plan to take care of the relationship, instead of just focusing on the transactional bit and taking that specific topic out of.
I love that, because with a lot of our consulting clients, we've worked with support teams in the past as well too. And one of the things in success we always hear is we want customer success to be proactive, and so many times they're reactive. And one of the things we found with support teams we work with is they assume their role, since they're responding to a customer ticket, that they don't have to be proactive at all. And so you've got them on the phone, like you said, where can you be proactive in moving them to the next stage of value, or where can you be proactive in suggesting something they didn't know to ask that gets ahead or prevents a future problem, that builds those relationships and this trust. So
exactly.
It's great to hear that you're doing those sort of things.
And most of the voice of customer that we get in support, so those are the highly engaged customers that do want to fix things, that do approach us, so they take the opportunity to reach out to the company. So that's valuable insights that we have, and that can also create more visibility and more awareness of everything that we proactively then can do to mitigate all these issues, so that so we divert volume from support, but we actually help build relationships from the success point of view.
Do you find it requires your support team to have a different way of thinking? Because quite often your support team, as you said, Jason, it's about break fix, but they are transactional. It's about this one, move on to the next, move on to the next. Does it require a very different type of person? Have you found your support team easily transition to this new way?
One good thing about customer support in Pipedrive is that I also making fun of it. Sometimes I say I have secret agents scattered across the organization, because I have support people pretty much everywhere in the company. Is a good place. Like, product knowledge is there. So if very ambitious people, and they do jump to other opportunities, and success is not in any case different. I have a lot of people moving from support to success. Yes, they have to build the commercial skill set. So product knowledge is there. The commitment and customer service part of the equation is pretty much strong, but the commercial skill set still needs to be developed further. So one good example is that as a support specialist, or we talk to customers every day, and if they have one issue they want to fix, we address that specific issue. We don't ask ourselves, what if this customer upgrades? So often we don't do this, right? We don't challenge their question. We just look at the transaction and try to be there for them and give them what they're asking for. This has been, for the most part, transactional, pretty much. We want to move gradually to a relational way of thinking, where we can also challenge the way the customer is thinking is, and maybe proposing different things, different approaches. Right now, the approaches are way technical, mainly around, why don't you use this automation instead of this manual task? But other than that, we don't challenge that much. For success is different. It's the big question is, how do I get this company to work as efficiently and effectively as possible while still bringing more revenue to Pipedrive? So it's an added challenge for sure for success.
Have you had customer success at Pipedrive for a long time? Is it something that's been there from day one, or is it relatively recent?
Not from day one, but pretty soon along the way, while Pipedrive was growing. Success built probably halfway through the build out of Pipedrive, but it's been growing consistently, and for 2022 the plans are to continue to grow the team
Okay.
and develop further supporting roles, including project specialists, process specialists, everyone to help bring more efficiency and effectiveness to the team. So not just customer facing teams.
You've talked about kind of the growth of the team next year, but what are some of your own kind of plans for customer success? As you've come into this role quite recently, what are some of your own visions and plans for the customer success function, for the team, and for your customers?
So the exciting thing is that we're also bringing on new leadership, and with that added challenge. So for 2022, we have a lot of different commitments for success, mostly around bringing effectiveness and efficiency into the team. So working with specific algorithms and playbooks that allow us to be there for our customers, but understanding for the most part which customers needs us most, right? Since this is a proactive approach, it can't be random, because we might be losing opportunities to help people that do need to develop and do need to fix any issues that are impacting their usage or their growth. So it's more around data, customer intelligence, understanding their behaviors, understanding the patterns, and where we need to direct our efforts with one-to-one plays and one-to-many plays to keep these customers engaged, happy, recommending Pipedrive and using in.
Wow, that sounds like a big challenge that you have ahead there. A lot of stuff going on. I'm curious as well, as I'm listening to you. We often find that people that want to jump into customer success, many times they've come from a background of support, and they really do find that transition very difficult. And many of them that I've encountered actually say, you know what, I think I'm going to go back to support. What has been your experience here in terms of people in their career paths coming into customer success from support, and if any of the challenges that you found there, or any recommendations to either someone who's considering that for their career, or as a CS leader about when you think about where you want to staff up your different teams from?
Can you rephrase that? I don't think.
I'm trying to understand, what's your experience with people who may start in customer support and moving into a career in customer success? Is that a good transition for most people, or is it only for a certain type of people? And what advice would you give to folks to say, this may not be for you, or this is something you should definitely do?
Okay, my understanding is that this move comes from support reps wanting to create a bigger impact on their customers. So they feel that, yes, they help a lot of customers every day, all day, but it's transactional, and sometimes they just don't want to lose touch. They feel they could add more value if the conversation continued, and if they could explore other things and other opportunities. And as they full understanding of the product and its potential and limitations, they also feel that they're more empowered to help more customers and create bigger impact for the company. So they feel interested in moving to success just because of that. It's also a different routine. In support, you do chats, emails. So it's pretty much being there, talking to customers every day, continuously, recurrently. With customer success, you have the preparation part of the equation, the conversations, you have a bit of admin work, but you also have a different pace, a different rhythm, and a different understanding of your portfolio. Plus, you own your portfolio, right? So it's very different, the way you approach your work and the way you perceive the impact of your work at the end of the day.
What is a Pipedrive? I mean, how do you define customer success? What's your vision for customers? How does the business address customer success? What are some of the things that they're doing?
So customer success, for the most part, is there to build strong and long-lasting relationships with our high-value customers. They're there for the customers that generate usually more revenue to the company, have also more complexity to the way that they manage the product, more seats. And so they need a dedicated person to help manage the account and also the relationship. That's customer success for us. Customer support in Pipedrive is way more directed to technical customer support, but we also engage with trial users about billing issues, payment, understanding pricing. So it's pretty much generic questions around everyone experimenting and trialing the product, and also customers that are not high value that engage with us every day. So it's more around the technical part of the equation than customer success, which is building relationships.
How do you find the relationships are with your customers? We're talking about how you build long-term relationships, but do you find, are they long-term partnerships? Have you had a lot of great success with customers? Do you run to customers where they renew often?
Yes, so fortunately for us, high value customers in Pipedrive, they are the ones that have the higher lifetime value also. We have very low churn rates for high value customers. And it's also because of this mix that we have dedicated customer support with enhanced service, enhanced SLAs, and then customer success people also focused and dedicated to servicing and managing the accounts and the relationship for these customers and for this segment. Obviously, there's more personalization, more customization also to these customers that also helps. But yes, for the most part, our high value customers are very happy with and engaged with Pipedrive.
That's great. Mar, one of the things I'm curious about, especially both in your experience, but at Pipedrive, one of the things that we often hear is, oh, the customer success folks, they have these great relationships with customers, and customers just come to them first for everything instead of going to support when they should. And if some of your CSMs also had that in-depth product knowledge or came from support at one point, there's probably a lot of questions that they could answer very quickly if they wanted to, but distracts them from their other work and their other customers. How do you manage your teams around, as a CSM, when to engage a customer on things that really should be done by support versus redirecting them? And how's that actually handled by your frontline staff?
Yeah. So the good thing about Pipedrive is that every department, we don't work in silos, and we're very collaborative, and we use each other as basically part of the value proposition for our customers. High value customers know that support exists, is there 24/7, is available via email, chat, phone, so they can reach out very easily. So it's mostly common that they start by reaching out to support instead of the CSM if it's a very technical or tactical question. And for the most part, we want it to be like this because we don't want to flood success managers with this part of the equation, right? Success managers mostly redirect customers to support or promote actually support to their portfolio because they know that for these questions, highly skilled professionals are there and can help 24/7. With support, it's exactly the same. If we understand that a customer is probably looking to grow, has a need to negotiate, or difficult with the renewal, we also make the time for the customer success manager to become aware, create the slot, and meet with the customer, prepare and meet with the customer. Yeah, but we work I think we work as a one team, so the customer doesn't really feel that if he talks to support or success, he's getting different experiences and different levels of commitment for that matter.
Wow, that is great to hear, because I know a lot of organizations, they strive for that, but they really struggle to achieve it. And even internally, I love the language used of support, or success tries to promote support, and they're highly skilled professionals. And a lot of organizations I've seen, not so combative with support and success, but it's not that closeness that you described. And I'm curious as well too, because I know a lot of organizations, like we want our customers to know where to go and to go to the right people first, so that it saves time, they have a good experience, and they get their problem solved faster. How do you start to introduce that to your customers? Is that even during the sales process, you explain the difference between success and support? Is there something special you do during onboarding or in the first few months of the relationship to really reinforce those concepts?
Yes, that's where it all begins, and that's where we make the customer aware of the options he has inside of Pipedrive. So during the sales pitch, during the sales stage, the customer is introduced to support, usually for technical requirements that sales resorts to. One good example is importing data. It's always rather complex. Some people just don't want to do it by themselves or need more time to go over it. And so sales always introduces support as an option, and they can book slots with us, and we take care of that technical aspect. And then they do the handover to customer success. They introduce the customer to the customer success manager. They're going to get exactly why they're there, when they're going to reach out, so that the customer knows expectations are managed. And from that moment, the customer knows. So technical stuff, I have this route, and for the relationship part, for the commercial part, I have this route, and it's clear from the beginning.
Wow.
What are some of the things that you've done to break down those internal silos? Because as we said, it's a challenge every business has I think my big belief is that that often is the role of your customer success leader, is a horizontal role. But how have you gone about doing that at Pipedrive?
Yeah, several different initiatives. We have started to conduct a lot of cross-department forums where we talk about processes, procedures, customer experience, and where we see the main touch points and the main breaking points happening. And this also helps because we create a network, and it's easy to speak to and understand who is the stakeholder responsible for what part of the customer experience within different departments: sales, success, support, community, partnerships even. And we've also done customer journey mapping initiatives that allow us to just take 2 steps back and actually map the experience for customers, understand if the promise that we're making is being correctly delivered, if everything is working as we anticipated it should be working, and we just challenge the experience to improve. And this is also a cross-functional exercise that involves people from different departments. So this helps us understand more what's happening on the other side, and also liaising with these departments and creating these synergies to make things more fluid, more seamless for customers, and all in all, a better customer experience in the end.
That's great too, because I know a lot of organizations struggle to get that and to do that well, and to get the other departments to play well. It sounds like you've really done a tremendous job there. I'm curious, as I'm listening to you as well too, I know there are a lot of people that are early in their CS leadership career, and they may have come through support, or they may have come up from a CS background, and they're now coming into these, so many new CS leader roles are opening up. What advice would you give to someone who's coming into a situation where they may be in a leadership role for the first time, where they're going to have to oversee both success and support? And how would you help them prepare for the challenges they're going to face?
First, understand what your numbers are telling you. Very important to be data-driven and understand the strengths and the weaknesses from a data perspective, but then listen to your people and basically aggregate that feedback into your plan going forward. Sometimes we lose track of what exactly is affecting customers and internal teams, both. And I think we never should lose track of that. So it's looking at data, but also involving your team members and involving more departments even in creating that sense of problems to solve, challenges to overcome, and then going at it. Don't assume that at all, because you don't.
It's an assumption too easy to make, isn't it? You've got to take a step back. Mara, look, this has been a superb conversation. Thank you so much. One thing we like to do with all our guests, and this really helps us and our listeners, is give you this bold challenge question. The one that we'd like to give you is, what is the number one action that people can take to improve customer relationships through their support team? So really, based on your feedback, the kind of transitions you've done, but what's that number one takeaway item?
Number one action. Wow. So I was thinking like 100 different ones. Number one action: listen to what your customers are saying and structure that feedback in a way that you can then action upon it. Okay. Don't just fix what's happening every day. Take 2 steps back and understand, so what is happening and why? Go look for the root cause and then take action to mitigate those issues going forward. Give visibility to all the departments that are contributing to those issues, and just be an engine of change. Also, don't just react, because it's what we tend to do in support. We just react. Be the engine that drives change. Don't just dwell of, why are they always screwing up? And give that visibility and understand root cause and try to fix along with other leaders in other departments.
I love that thinking about being the engine of change, because it is. If you look at businesses now, everyone's going through these big changes, transformations, what COVID's done for businesses. And it is, how can we help our customers through that change? And I think one of the big things about being truly customer centric is when you're helping your customers go through these changes. So I absolutely love that. Mara, look, a huge thank you. This has been a great conversation. We've really enjoyed it. A big thank you from me for joining us and for taking the time out of your day to join us.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you. Hope to have shared some good insights to everyone listening. And it was definitely a pleasure.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.